everyone, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Thursday, the 2nd of May 2019. Thank you for joining me. I'm using the Patch Tarot for today's reading. I really don't know anything about spirit science. A lot of people online, every time I use this deck, they say, "Oh, you're using the spirit science deck. We love spirit science." I just love it because it's so colorful. And if you've ever looked at any of my decor in my house, like my pillows, I just love color. It cheers me up. I have fairy lights under my TV. I don't know if it's living in this country, but bright colors are really an important part of my life. So whenever I use anything like this, it just immediately cheers me up. So that's a tip. Maybe if someone is listening or watching who is a little bit down, if you have the opportunity to design your own place, bright colors can really lift your mood. It does for me all the time. So this is your reading for Thursday, the 2nd of May. I hope you've had a good start to the month. Let's have a look at what the cards want you to be aware of. The Six of Discs, the Queen of Swords, and the Hierophant. Okay. The Six of Discs is the have and have not card. Sometimes you're up and you give money away. Sometimes you're down and you receive money. It's the natural balance of life. Here we've got the bull, Taurus, which in astrology is really a representative of anything to do with stability, security, money, sensuality, strength. And then we have the planets around it. So we have the moon, Venus, planet of love, Jupiter, planet of good luck and good fortune, Saturn, the father of the astrology, Mars, the male principle of desire and drive, and Mercury, the communication planet. He gets that there's this perfect balance to this process, that everything comes full circle, that you will be up at certain points in your life with money, because money is an energy. It has nothing to do with your personality or whether you're worth it or whether you're rich or poor. I remember I was driving around a really posh area with, many years ago, I lived in Ashton-under-Lyne, which is a suburb of Manchester, and it's a pretty okay place, but it's working class, and it's people who work hard as electricians and painters and decorators and things like that. So we're driving through this posh area, and I've got this friend in the car with me, and he's never been to this area, and he looks at these houses and he's like, wow, this is how the other side live, and I don't believe that anyone who has this much money is a good person. You must be evil if you have this much money. And that's just ridiculous. If you have beliefs like that, then you're never going to... It's just a total block, and it's totally unnecessary. It just doesn't need to be there. Money is neutral. Yes, you can take a lot of money and use it to influence people and use it for evil, but you can also use it to give to charities and foundations and really use it for wonderful things. So I think that was a bit of a short-sighted view. And in your life, at certain times, you're going to be doing something that's really valuable that other people appreciate, and you'll earn an income. And other times, people will lose interest and you won't make so much money, and then you have to ask for money. He gets that he will be asking at some point, and this person will be up giving. So it's a natural process, and they understand that generosity is something that is a natural part of life. If you want to receive, you've got to give. Taurus, again, money and security, and the moon is feeling and a soul level. You really have to humble yourself to ask for money, because some people are weird about money. When you talk to people about sex and money, that's where they're weirdest. That's where they have the most hang-ups, in my experience. Some people can't be generous and give money. because someone needs it. Even family members who they love, they just can't do it. It's awful, some of the faulty beliefs that come in when it comes to money. So here we've got a balance and a great connection between people, love, and everything seems to be great and solid. Then we've got the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords looks bored. Now, when you've got a bored Queen of Swords, get ready for some trouble, because she's like a judge, and she uses that sword to cut things and to really affect the outcome of other people's lives. We've got the Kabbalistic tree of life here in a white outline. So she's perceptive. She sees everything that's going on. But if she's bored, she may use her perception to start criticizing. If there are no cases before her, she may say, okay, I'm going to start perceiving my brother's behavior. Oh, I just lent him 5,000 because I thought he was broke, and now he's on a holiday going off to Tenerife having a grand old time. How do I feel about that? So there's potential for problems because you're making yourself vulnerable in this situation, or you're giving, and when you give, you've got to let go of it. Because if you give someone money to do with because they're saying, I'm down at the moment, you can't watch them afterwards and watch their every move and say, oh, I thought he was broke and now he's going on holiday. How dare, I shouldn't have given him the money. I feel resentful now. And that's why we've got that saying, never a lender or a borrower be. I think that's from Shakespeare. Because money can ruin friendships like that and family relationships like that. It's just because people get weird about it. And then she will feel like she's been hustled if the guy who receives money goes on holiday, and she's like, oh, so much for being poor. I was fooled. I wasn't perceptive, and I pride myself on being the Queen of Swords, and I pride myself on being perceptive. And now I feel like I've been deceived. I know it says detached, but it's a deception almost. I've been tricked. So we've got a blue triangle pointing down, information from spirit, and a triangle pointing up, air. So she's really trying to find a balance between her own decisions and what the universe says. So what she needs to cut today is her own clinging on to the money that she's given, and she needs to cut that tie and to just let it go. What I found easiest as well is if I have ever lent anyone money, I give them the money and I don't ask for it back. Because if I do, then if I set a date and that person doesn't meet that date, then it's a friendship that's destroyed. So you've got to, it'll come up, it's a theme in your life, it'll come up, and you have to make your own decision about how you're going to handle it. So we've got vulnerability versus misunderstanding. So there's the potential to be hurt and to feel stabbed in the back. And to say, God, I really opened myself up now. And I asked for something which, I had to humble myself anyway. So you may be oversensitive, and then that other person feels tricked, and they harm you, or they say something snide or snarky, and you're like, wow, that really hurt. Finally, we've got the hierophant, and the hierophant is spirituality. I've got a big history with this card because I've often interpreted it as exclusive, and you've got to have the key to join the club. The spirit science is very wise because they've used Hindu symbols. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a Sikh symbol? Correct me if I'm wrong. We've got the cross of Christianity there. We've got all the different religions, and that's spirituality. So the hierophant is inclusive in this case. And it's stability. You have stability. Oh, this is perfect. Money isn't the stability in your life. Your connection with spirit is stability in your life. Because when you talk to spirit, it's always going to take care of you. It's always going to say, why don't you work as a painter decorator for a while? And you listen to that advice and you do that and you make money and you are able to take care of your family. And then that business doesn't work anymore for some reason, and you meditate on it and you ask your higher power and your a God of your understanding, what should I do next? I've tried everything. I can't do it anymore. I'm handing it over to you for you to sort out my finances because I'm stuck. And that's why I'm always banging on and on and on and on about having a daily meditation practice and a spiritual practice, because when things hit the fan, then most people start praying and saying, help me please, and what's going to happen. But before things hit the fan, if you have a connection with your higher power already in place, and you talk to that higher power every day, then you've built a genuine relationship. And then when things do get difficult, then you can just immediately connect with your friend and say, hey, the painting, decorating, the whole area is done. No one needs my services anymore. What can I do now to provide for the kids? And you listen and you will get an answer. Your biggest friend and your security today, in terms of finances and in terms of your feelings, are speaking to your higher power. And your security lies in something that is not human. So we've got the cross there. I don't know, this person behind that, is that supposed to be God? I don't know. It could be, or it could be a higher being. She's kind of reaching out to that higher being. She's reading scriptures from any book it can be. So you can either read this book internally, or you can just light your inner lantern to connect. However you connect. I connect through light. I don't experience God as, a man with a beard on a cloud or whatever. I experience it differently. So whatever your experience is, that's going to make you feel good, and that's going to make you feel safe and secure and financially looked after. There is potential for vulnerability being misunderstood and being taken advantage of, and miscommunication. Even the sword is the wrong way around. She's not holding it upright. She's holding it down. So she's kind of resting on it, and she's bored. So that's, like I said, that's dangerous. So it's used as a crutch almost, or as something that's just waiting to cut someone. So my advice, my suggestion from the cards would be to, yes, understand the balance if finances are a problem. But I really don't think for most people finances are going to be a huge problem here in May. We're in the season of Taurus in May. I've done the monthly horoscopes for each sign of the zodiac. I did those earlier today. So have a look at your sign of the zodiac. It will show you what's coming up this month. But most signs really won't struggle with money. So that's not the problem. Connect with your higher self to feel good about that if you're worried about money. And also connect with your higher self if you've experienced an argument, or you feel like you've been injured emotionally. That will soothe you, and that will give you the understanding, and it'll allow you to let it go rather than hanging on to resentment or fear or a place of feeling like you've been victimized and picked on and bullied. Number-wise, we got 6 and a court card, which is 1. So that's 7. And then, is this 5? The Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, the Emperor, the Empress, the Hierophant. 6, isn't it? No, it's 5. All right, 5. So 6, 7, and 5 is... I'm just thinking about the Fool. Sorry that I counted that wrong, because the Fool doesn't count. It's Magician, High Priestess, Empress, Emperor. Yeah, that's why it's 5. Sorry. Okay. I counted the Fool. It's 0. It doesn't count. So 5 and 1. Sorry about this, guys. 5 and 1 is 6. And another 6 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. And 3 is about new beginnings, communication, and moving forward via communication. It's in the center of the card, but you're meant to connect with a higher power, something that is spiritual, rather than focus all your communication on a human level and on a physical level and about tangible things like money. Elevate your communication to the higher realms where you'll be safe and happy, and try and avoid as many of these types of interactions as possible, because there can be conflict which can arise from these interactions through misunderstanding. Have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. If you, in the personal readings, I use the tarot, I use astrology and numerology, but you can choose. If you don't want me to use the tarot and just do a straight up astrology reading, I can do that, no problem. Or just the tarot reading if you don't want astrology. Usually when I use all 3, the astrology shows me everything about you, what your working life talents are, what your life purpose is, where you've been in past lives, strengths and weaknesses, what's coming up in future. I can answer any questions you may have. So if you're interested in that, then please order your reading by going to gregoryscott.com and just clicking on the Book Your Readings button. Have a wonderful day. Check out the monthly horoscopes, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.